A comparative analysis of students overpopulation and availability of resources between federal and state universities in north-central Nigeria. The study investigated student overpopulation on availability of resources between federal and state universities. Education is the bedrock of development for any country, socially, economically, politically, and otherwise. University education is an important component of human resources development. It helps improve security, health, prosperity, and ecological balance in the world and encourages social, economic, cultural progress, national and international cooperation. Osokoya, 2019. But the learning environment has to be conducive for learning to be effective in essence, resources availability is the heart of any educational system. On the other hand, student overpopulation is the excessive annual increase in the number of students admitted and enrolled into universities. This situation occurs when an educational institution enrolls more students than it was designed to accommodate. UNESCO asserts in 2012 asserts that universities in Nigeria seem to be finding it difficult to discharge their traditional roles of impacting knowledge, skills, and attitudes necessary for individuals to contribute positively to the development of society because funds for universities have been low and inadequate, so that it seems impossible for public universities to provide resources that are commensurate to the population of students admitted yearly. The purpose of the study was to compare students overpopulation and availability of resources between federal and state universities in north-central Nigeria. The the following research questions guided the study: what effect does student overpopulation have on the availability of resources in federal and state universities in north-central Nigeria? 2. What comparative effect does student overpopulation have on the availability of resources between federal and state universities in Nigeria, in north-central Nigeria? Two null hypotheses were formulated and tested at 0.05 level of significance as follows. 1. Student overpopulation has no significant effect on the availability of resources in federal and state universities. 2. Student overpopulation has no significant mean difference on availability of resources between federal and state public universities in north-central Nigeria. The study adopted the Expo Factor research design. The population of the study was 13,784, made up of all academic and senior administrative staff of 7 federal and 6 state universities in north-central Nigeria. A multi-state sampling procedure was used to select a sample of 269 representing 51.2% of the total population, made up of 125 academic and 144 senior administrative staff from Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, and Benue State University, Makurdi. The proportionate stratified random sampling technique of balloting without replacement was used to select the universities and respondents for the study. The instrument used for data collection was a 20-item structured checklist compared against National Universities Commission's benchmark on provision of resources in universities in Nigeria, using a 4-point modified rating scale of high available, moderately available, low available, and not available. Mean and standard deviation were used to answer research questions, while t-test was used to test the hypothesis at 0.05 level of significance. The study concluded that students overpopulation had analysis was done, and the findings show that students overpopulation had no significant mean effect on the availability of resources between federal and state universities in north-central Nigeria. From the concluded that students overpopulation has no significant mean effect on the availability of resources between federal and state universities in north central Nigeria, and recommended that federal and state governments should increase funding to universities so that the NUC benchmark for provision of resources to public universities can be met. Thank you.